How you doing, guys? It's me. It's Pep. Very quick video for you, just to let you know how I am getting on. I was released from hospital on when I think it was Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. I was released from hospital after having a stroke. In fact, I had. From what I can gather from the hospital notes, I had 3 episodes, as they called it. So I don't know whether that means 3 strokes or not, but there was 3 episodes. I believe that normally if you have a stroke, you lose the feeling, you get the weakness and numbness in one side, and it either stays or it goes, and that's the end of it. I had multiple what do they call it? So you've got to forgive me because my brain is still a little bit fried after what happened. Multiple. I just can't think, but I had, from what I can tell, 3 individual. I don't know, let's call them seizures, shall we? Because I lost the feeling, then it came back for a little while, and then it went, and then it came back, and then it went, and then it came back, and thankfully it stayed. Now, I was actually in hospital for a completely unrelated reason. It was a medical emergency that I was in hospital for. I was in A&E, and I was in the side room. I got seen very quickly. The waiting room was quite full, but because of the reason I was there, I was seen within 10 minutes, which is brilliant. I was in a side room waiting to go to surgical assessment unit when I had my first Jesus, I can't even think of the bloody word I'm trying to think of. We'll call it a seizure because I can't think of the other word. So they was giving me some anti-sickness because I was feeling sick, and then I remember being on the floor because I felt like I was going to pass out, and the next thing I know, well, sort of the next thing I can remember clearly is I'm on a trolley, and there's lots of people around me. Anyway, thankfully, and I've got to say, thankfully, I was treated very quickly because I was already in hospital, and what was happening was identified very quickly by the hospital staff, and I am so grateful for that because it has allowed me to be able to retain full function of my left side, which I'm incredibly grateful for. Incredibly grateful. Had I had the stroke at home, I would not have gone into hospital because I just wouldn't have. And I would be in a very bad situation by now. But because I was in hospital when the stroke happened, which is an incredibly rare thing to happen, but because I was there when it happened, I was treated very quickly. They done a CT scan. They couldn't find any bleeds on the brain. Then I had the second episode, and they decided that they was going to thrombolyse me. Now, thrombolysing is where they give you an injection, not the COVID injection, it's where they give you an injection and it thins your blood right down, and it is supposed to obliterate any clots that you may have, because a CT scan couldn't pick up any bleed, so they were leaning on the side of clot or clots. And I was thrombolysed. I believe just as I was being thrombolysed, I believe was when I had the 3rd episode, if I remember rightly. Things are a little bit hazy about the entire situation, so yeah, I can only tell you what I can clearly remember. So I was thrombolyzed, quite a dangerous procedure in itself, because if you've got any bleeds anywhere, because blood is being thinned so much, you can bleed internally or externally. For example, if I'd have had a nosebleed prior and then they thrombolised me, then I could have lost a lot of blood through a recurring nosebleed because the blood was so thin. So I was in from Friday night until, as I say, I think it was Wednesday. I tried to get out earlier, and the reason I tried to get out earlier is because I actually felt okay. After it all happened on Saturday, I was able to move without any issues. I do have a very slight stutter, and it is very slight, thankfully, but I am having a little bit of a memory problem trying to remember certain words, as you've probably gathered from watching this so far. I feel completely wiped out, like completely wiped out. I mean, I've got bags under my eyes where I've not really been sleeping properly, but I've been tired constantly since I've come out of hospital. I've got some follow-up appointments and things, and I've also got a follow-up appointment for the original medical emergency that I was in for, which I'm not going to go into now because what they think it could be. So it's like 50-50 of being two different things. One of them is extremely serious and the other one is not. So I'm on some medication at the moment. If that medication works, then it's the not serious one. But when I go back to hospital in I think about 2 weeks' time, if the situation hasn't resolved itself after the medication I'm taking, then it could likely be the very serious one. But I'm not going to go into that now because I don't know, and I'm not going to start making assumptions that it's something that it might not be. But I am out. I am at home. This is my home. This is my front room. I did say I'd keep you all updated as best I can. So I know. What's his name? Let's have a look. Now, there is something else I wanted to say to people, and that is, I get that over the past couple of months, I've had some time away. And I understand that there are people out there that like to have a dig at people that don't do what I do, you know, the time and effort that goes into doing what I do for the channel. And there's some people out there that don't understand what goes into it, how stressful it can be, how much time it takes, and that you can get burnout as well from doing videos on YouTube. But if you all remember, a couple of months ago we done a live stream and we raised some money for a charity. Okay, now I haven't forgotten that, so don't panic. I know some of you are probably wondering what's going on with that, and I certainly would not I certainly wouldn't risk the reputation and the amount of work that I've put into this channel over a few £100. Okay, I wouldn't do that. The money's in the bank, all right? It's still there. Okay, but unfortunately, because of the breakdown I had a few weeks back, okay, when I had to take some time off, and now what happened on Friday night, I've actually got somebody called Pete Coleman who's a seems to be a subscriber of the channel. Now, Pete hasn't got the bollocks to show his face in his Facebook message, but I'm going to read what is said to me. Okay, this was sent on the 19th of February, which was, I can't even remember what day was 19th. Oh, 19th of February was the day I was in hospital. Okay, the day I went into hospital. Right, so Pete Coleman messaged me on the 19th, silly o'clock in the morning, and he says, "Hi Dan, love your work on YouTube, but George is playing you and telling you what you want to hear." Now, George is my girlfriend, all right? So I don't know why he feels that he needs to have an opinion on my personal life. I don't know. But then he says she is stopping you making YouTube videos. Stop and let go of the past. She is like an old crumpet. Put a fresh one in and move on. She is bullshitting you. Again, not quite sure why this Pete Coleman feels the need to comment on my personal life. Then on Wednesday, he calls me a twat. What a twat. Run off with the charity money, did ya? Hope it gave you enough to pay Georgia to stay with you for a while. Hope your mysterious illness fades away. Wish you all the best, but once a player, always a player. Okay, not quite sure what that means. So I replied, clearly you don't have any idea what you're talking about. Might I suggest you go get a life? Your dumbass comments mean nothing to me, especially coming from someone who hasn't even the backbone to show their face. So he replied, it's not about my face, it's about the money raised. Even civil, as in civil disobedience, was wondering in his last live. Like I said, all the best, hope you're doing well now, and I hope the money goes where it should. That's all waiting for the video. That's all, waiting for the video on YouTube to show you have donated, as I, for one, have donated to the cause. So what I want to say is, if you're watching this and you think that I'm that much of a scumbag to not give that money to charity that I said we was going to do, if you think that I would risk the amount of work, the amount of time, the amount of effort that I've put into building this channel, if you think that I would risk my reputation over a few £100, then might I suggest you click the unsubscribe button and fuck right off. Okay, simple as that. Because if that's what you think of me, then I don't need you. Don't need your subscription on YouTube. Don't need it. Okay, got enough going on without people making up assumptions and shit like that. Okay, yeah, I get it's taken a while. Okay, I get that, but I said in a live stream, okay, everybody fucking knows what I said, that it was going to go to charity. Everybody knows. That video's still on my channel, right? Everybody knows. If I was going to do something and rip people off, then I'd take that video down and then there'd be no proof of it, okay? But I haven't. I never take videos down and I never say things I don't mean, all right? So if you're one of these people that think that and you think you cannot trust me, then there is absolutely no reason for you to even be subscribed to this channel or watch my videos. And I'll ask you to simply fuck off and go and find somebody else to watch. Pete Coleman, I think your comments were disgusting. You got absolutely no fucking right to comment on my personal life, number one. If you wanted to ask about the money, then you should have asked about the money, but calling me a twat and accusing me of running off with it. If I know who you were on here, I'd block you myself. But unfortunately, you're that much of a shitbag. You've no doubt got a completely fucking weird made up username, which I cannot connect to your Pete Coleman name on Facebook. Okay. But again, I suggest if that's how you feel, then you simply fuck off. Okay. I will be coming back very soon, I hope, to the channel. As I say, I feel constantly tired at the moment since this happened, and I hope that you know, you can all, the ones of you who want to, will stick around and wait for me to come back, because you know, I want to come back with a bang and really start pushing things forward again. But other than that, I want to thank every one of you who's wished me well. I genuinely appreciate the comments and the emails and some phone calls that I've had as well. So thank you so much for showing that you care. Again, I know everybody's got their ideas of the NHS at the moment, but I have to say I am incredibly grateful that whilst I was in hospital, they acted so quickly to treat me for, oh, nearly dropped the phone in, so quickly to treat me for the stroke. I still don't feel like I've had one, and sitting in the hyperacute hyperacute stroke ward watching other people come in who had just had strokes, who did have long-term effects of their stroke because they was at home and it might have taken them half an hour or 45 minutes to get into hospital, and there was people in there so upset because they were so frustrated that they couldn't use one side of their body, which was horrible for me watching that, because I felt okay, but although they wouldn't let me out of hospital for several days, but I felt okay. I didn't have those long-term effects, apart from a little bit of a brain fart now and again with certain words, and depending on I don't know what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. I don't know what the factors are, but I have got a very slight new stutter. But after seeing the people in the hyperacute stroke wards who literally couldn't do anything for themselves was really upsetting, and I know none of them will be watching, although I do know some of the nurses will be watching, because I told some of the nurses about the channel. Oh shit, now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, but I hope that everybody who I met whilst I was in hospital for those few days makes as good a recovery as possible. And I'm incredibly grateful, as I say, to the NHS staff who treated me, the doctors who treated me so quickly, and has enabled me to, not need to have a trolley to walk on, or need further help with normal daily activities. So that's it. I said this was going to be a quick video. It's been over 15 minutes now, so my apologies, guys, but I really wanted to say those few things, and I will be back soon. Don't forget that I'm over on Facebook and Twitter. Links to those are in the description. So if you want to chat or anything else, then feel free to jump over and give us a shout over there. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I am tired again. Oh God, excuse me. And I'm probably going to have a little kip. But I will be back as soon as I can. So thank you all once again. Genuinely appreciate your support, and I will speak to you either in the comments or of this video, or in another video soon. Thank you.